we should have a conversation outside of here.
So,
because what you're saying is not factual. I have evidence, proof that that's not how it actually works for Champaign County.
Plants, and I have worked in plants for many years.
Right.
And I'm telling you that we have teams of people that actually take care of these ballots. We have government officials that come through the larger plants in the mornings just to verify that all of this is taken care of.
All right, so listen, again, if you want to convince us, and all these people have 15,000 people in here on a permanent vote by mail list, and they want to make sure that their ballot is going to get to them on time. And I just asked you straight up, how do I know, will that postmark be on that ballot? Because the person who mails it on election day, it has to be postmarked on election day. And if it doesn't, then you just invalidated their vote. So can you guarantee that every ballot that's mailed on election day will be picked up and postmarked in Champaign County so that it's not invalidated?
I cannot, because I don't know what time of the day they're actually going to drop it in the mailbox. So we have collection times, and then if you know that if you're going to mail it on election day, I drop it off right at the post office. I would not drop it into a local box or anything like that. We still pick up at the facilities late in the evening on election day. And the thing is take a little bit of responsibility yourself and make sure that you get that election.
It's a service.
And I would go back to say this, because we have postal employees in this building, and we're not going to discredit them by saying they don't do their job. They painstakingly go through these boxes day in and day out. They have to certify that these boxes are picked up, that these ballots are certified. And you got some postal employee in here that works in the plant. Do they go through that regimen every election cycle? So we're not going to discredit the work that they do, and that's being disingenuous. That's being disingenuous when you say that. They painstakingly take extraordinary measures when it comes to ballots.
We do.
Extraordinary measures when it comes to ballots. They make sure that that postmark is on there. So to say that, our employees do not do their job is discrediting the work that they do.
I'd like to proceed with public comment, if that's okay. My name is Alicia Beck. I am the council member for District 2 in Champaign, which encompasses a large part of the university and the central part of our community. Along with me, there are actually at least 7 other council members here tonight. We were supposed to have a council meeting, but we decided that we would have a regular council meeting next week, which allowed us to be here tonight. But we also represent our own constituencies here and hear their concerns as well. So I'm here to provide voice to those concerns and to also provide support for the employees of the postal office here in our community. Along with me tonight is my husband, who sits on the Champaign Labor Council and has for a long time and is a regional director for AFSCME. So we are a labor-strong family. We believe in labor and supporting the causes that are important to those that provide services to our community in such important ways as our Postal Service. Clearly, the Postal Service is something that we all rely upon. My sister-in-law was a lifelong Postal Service worker, and one of the things that I marvel about with the Postal Service is that you can take a letter and put a stamp on it, and it gets to where it needs to be. And that's magical to me. I can send a letter of condolence to someone in my community. I can pay my garbage bill, because that's how my garbage company gets their payment, is by check. There's no online payment for my garbage company because it's a community-run business, so I mail it to them. I can say congratulations to University of Illinois graduate through the mail. I can do all of these things with just a simple stamp. But when we delay our commerce, when we delay those notes of condolence, when we delay medications that are important to our community members, that is a problem for my constituency. As I said, I represent a large portion of the University of Illinois. And right now, most of those students, including my son who attends here, are on spring break. So a large number of our ear constituents for the Postal Service are absent. And a large number of those particular students are receiving packages through the mail. They are receiving important documents through the mail from their families from across the United States, and then they're mailing them out. But they're also relying on you to do that in an expedient fashion. And certainly, it looks like you're trying to make things more streamlined, more efficient. But for us here in our community, we think efficiency means keeping our local mail local. And we want that to stay in Champaign. We do not want it sent to the Chicagoland area or to St. Louis. We want it to remain here. Let me give you a brief example and then I will conclude my remarks. My mother lives in Bloomington Normal. A number of years ago, their distribution facility was shut down. And all of their mail was sent here to be processed and then sent back to Bloomington Normal to be distributed. So if my mother was sending something to anyone in her community or paying any bill in her community, like State Farm, for example, it was sent to us and then back there. So that, I have seen the impact personally about how the mail is actually not as efficient and not as fast. And so I think that for me, it is a pie in the sky vision that we're going to increase efficiency, that we're going to make it better, but at what cost? You know, efficiency doesn't always mean that you're going to make it faster. Efficiency means that maybe you're cutting the bottom line, maybe you're cutting the dollar. But for us, efficiency means keeping our mail local, and that's what we want to see, keeping our mail local. And I can't say that enough. And so I'm sure you'll hear it again and again tonight, that we do not want our distribution center to be changed in any way. We want it to remain the same. And the impact to our rural communities will be even more significant than it is to Champaign. It will delay the delivery to our rural communities. I, for myself, am from a very rural community, and I know the importance of the mail for those communities as well. So thank you for the opportunity to provide public comment tonight. I do wish that it had been held at a facility that had been more accessible and that we had been given a longer time period in order for us to be able to garner a larger public comment. But I do appreciate the opportunity to do so. And I do want to also note that our mayor, Deborah Frank Finan, has submitted a letter to the director in order to express her concerns as well. So thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am, so what, your mayor's, what town? I'm sorry.
Mayor Champaign.
Mayor Champaign,
Yep.
thank you.
Good evening, good evening. Please excuse my dress. Typically I put on a suit and all of that, but I was out working and I thought this meeting was so critical and important that despite coming in a sweatshirt as the deputy mayor of the city of Champaign, this is a very important meeting. I not only can talk from, I agree with Councilmember Beck and all of her points that she made, but I also talk from a person who visits the post office every single day, 5 to 6 days a week as a small business owner. And so I recognize the importance of time-sensitive items. While this doesn't necessarily affect the items I ship, I do recognize that time-sensitive items are important. Some of the items that I ship is chocolate. Chocolate in the summertime melts. It doesn't matter how many ice packs you put in there, it's gonna melt. You get 3 days, make. So I understand even in my current business and under my model, how I've had to shift some things because there are current delays, there are extended times. So I am concerned, along with everyone, about a plan that would not only affect businesses, but affect people. One of the major reasons that I'm here is because all of these people, I couldn't ship boxes if I didn't have people that assisted. So in some ways, we're like teammates. And so seeing people being affected, I know the word impacted is used, but seeing people impacted and concerned is a concern to me. I also do a number of things. I'm an Uber driver. And so I get to listen to a lot of customer concerns. And one of the concerns, believe it or not, were people who work at the post office talking about this plan. And so with that being said, because they're concerned, I'm concerned, we're concerned, and concerned about any plan that would oppose any plan that would affect the people and the local businesses and ultimately the local community. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Laura Wise, President and CEO of the Champaign County Chamber of Commerce. I'm also here this evening with Madeline Herman, our Director of Public Policy. Our chamber represents nearly 1,000 area businesses that employ 60,000 East Central Illinois residents. Efficiency plays a crucial role in determining the overall effectiveness and success of business and commerce. Efficiency leads to cost reductions, time management, resource optimization, innovation and growth, quality improvement, and a competitive advantage. While we understand, appreciate, and encourage the Post Office's $40 billion strategy to upgrade and improve the processing, transportation, and delivery network, the current proposal to move Champaign's P&DC to either Chicago or St. Louis makes absolutely no sense. Based on this plan, it seems that the U.S. Post Office wishes us to believe that the most efficient way to process mail and serve the public is to move mail for 3 million plus people on a daily basis, an extra 200 miles, and then turn it around and move it back another 200 miles. And that the public, on blind faith, should not expect delayed or lost mail. We polled our member businesses to gauge the concern on this proposal. A resounding 91% are opposed to the downgrading of the Champaign facility. 3 themes emerged in their feedback. Business owners and leaders are already concerned about existing delays in Postal Service in Champaign County. Our members expressed concern that the pre-existing delays will only increase beyond reasonable expectation. Should delays increase, some members cited an impact to their revenue. Businesses rely on the timely receipt of payment, and if someone is paying with a check, it is important that the companies can rely on timely, reasonable delivery service. Additionally, businesses will be financially harmed if they incur penalties and late fees because the Postal Service could not efficiently process their mail. A business community cannot thrive without a workforce. Moving our community's postal workers